Being the boss means being in control of yourself and other assets for your own benefit and your family over the benefit of anyone else. Whether you are involved in legal or illegal business, it really makes no difference. It is just a matter of personal choice. Some people choose the legal side of it and other people choose the illegal side of it. It really is just two sides of the same coin. Legal bosses punish their transgressors by suspending them, demoting them, suing them, turning them in to the authorities and firing them. Illegal bosses punish their transgressors by breaking their legs, setting their real estate on fire, threatening their loved ones and causing them bodily harm, turning them into the authorities if the transgressors' interests conflict with theirs and terminating them permanently. A drug dealer sells illegal drugs to people on the street through an elaborate system that involves many levels of manufacture, management, marketing and distribution, like Freeway, Ricky Ross did. An alcohol, tobacco, medical marijuana or pharmaceutical company does the same thing, with drugs that have been approved by the government to be legally sold in stores. Brothel owners, in Nevada or any other place where it is not illegal, sell the sexual services of women and men. They are licensed by the state to conduct business and their employees are required to get blood tests on a regular basis to determine if they have contracted a sexually contractable, venereal disease. If they do test positive, then they can't work anymore and are fired for breaking the law that prohibits them from working as a prostitute if they have a sexually contracted, venereal disease. The bosses of these establishments make a lot of sticky, sweaty money off of what is described as the oldest profession in the world. I cannot for the life of me find the evidence that this is an actual fact, but it's what most people accept with blind faith. Any faith that is not vested in a truly known statistical probability is always deaf, dumb and blind. It should be avoided. The owners of pornographic video, magazine and internet businesses find, pander and then pay people to have sex. This would be illegal if there were no cameras involved. It is perfectly legal, in the states where it is legal, if you film the whole thing and then sell it as a clearly identifiable porno. This industry makes billions, legally. These bosses face no prosecution for prostitution, but they can have their actors stolen away by other studios for bigger bucks, pun intended. For the common street pimp of the street game, however, he faces having his hose being stolen from him by other pimps, prosecution, and his hose being prosecuted. Incidentally, he doesn't really have to pay them any money and they don't have a union to cry to for help if he has to pimp slap a bitch. Escorts and escort services are legal most places in the United States of America. They hide behind a technicality to be able to run legal hooking operations. But everyone knows that some of the employees offer something more than what is on the menu. Bon appetite. Massage parlors ran by legal bosses just give massages, but ones that are ran by illegal bosses give happy endings that come with towel cleanup. Betting parlors licensed by the state are completely legal. Betting parlors that are not licensed by the state are completely illegal. People that sell bets and work for the state are called lottery officers, and ones that worked for people like Charles, Lucky, Luciano, Meyer Lansky and the rest of the commission are called bookies. Loaning money to people at extremely high rates of interest for very short periods of time is a perfectly legal business, if you have a business license. Car title loans are based on pledging your automotive assets as collateral. Pawn shop loans are based on pledging any valuable material assets as collateral. If you default on the loan, then the things that used to belong to you become the property of the company after then. Payday loans are based on employment and having a checking account. If you default on the loan, you still owe the money and collection agents will continue to ask you for it. They might even take it directly from your account without notice. Loan sharks who lend money to people at extremely high rates of interest for very short periods of time are running a completely illegal business and do not have a business license. Loans are based on employment or pledging your material assets as collateral. They will accept cars, houses, jewelry, and business shares as collateral. If you default on the loan, then the things that used to belong to you become the property of the illegal boss in charge of the operation. You still owe more money, and collection agents known as enforcers will continue to ask you for it, unless you trade your body for dollars. Or you can convince your girlfriend, wife, sister or daughter to trade sex for dollars. You might also be able to pay off your debt by committing a crime. They will call on you at home or work or any place they can find you, when you owe a debt and have accidentally missed a payment that comes every Saturday. The interest or VIG added to the first late payment equals a visit with a punch to the body. The second equals a broken finger, rib, kneecap, an arm or a leg. The third one equals a threat and then a subsequent harming of a loved one or property, and then the VIG of the final late payment equals the termination of your life. Illegal bosses understand the risks of illegal actions and they live with the consequences of their actions. People are not inherently good or evil. People choose whether they want to act according to the norms of the particular society that they live in. Some actions that are completely acceptable in one part of the world are crimes in another. At one time in history you would be arrested and charged with a Class A felony for conducting a certain business, and at another time you would be a respectable part of the community. Throughout history there have been bosses of all stripes, types, heights and hues. Bosses have bought and sold and leased every conceivable thing that can be bought, sold and leased to another person and have profited from it to the great benefit of themselves and their families. Conversely, there have been people who are called mooks throughout history as well. Egypt was once the boss nation of the world. China was once the boss nation of the world. Babylon was once the boss nation of the world. The Greek Empire was once the boss nation of the world. The Roman Empire was once the boss nation of the world. Ottoman Empire was once the boss nation of the world. Great Britain was boss of the world. The United States of America is currently the richest and most powerful nation in the world. The game of football is the most popular sport all over the world. Continue to the next video. How to become the boss, Part 2.